We've been brainwashed by the media and the diet industry to understand that thin is the only healthy way to be. But the research does not support this. It really doesn't. Every population study around the world consistently finds that people live longest in the overweight range. It's very surprising to most people because that's not the message that's being percolated in society. But in fact, our government found 86,000 fewer deaths in the overweight range when compared to the normal weight range, and 33,000 more deaths in the thin range compared to the normal range. 86,000 fewer deaths in the overweight range, and it's replicated by every population study in the world. Of course, the extremes, the extremely obese and the extremely thin, die off sooner. There's no question about that. But when we're talking about the middle range, that overweight range seems to have the longest longevity. Now that doesn't mean that we should all strive to be in that range. It just means that that's the way it is. We should certainly strive to become our personal best. But researchers are trying to wonder why that might be true. Well, we certainly know that having some extra fat on your body is energy reserves in times of illness, which can help us. But the science is moving towards trying to understand whether fat is actually part of the immune system as well, because the results are so consistent over time and the planet. So that was kind of surprising to learn. So what are some tools for finding your ideal weight? Well, in my book, Your Final Diet, I talk about lots of tools. But one of the tools I'm going to talk about today is a weekly calorie count. Because even though I really believe that if you can listen to hunger and satiation, move your body, eat relatively healthy foods, and cope effectively, you're going to be fine, some people need more structure than that. And so for people who need a little bit more structure, I suggest a weekly calorie count. Now, our government suggests 1,800 calories a day for the average sedentary woman. So if you don't move your butt, you're allowed to have 1,800 according to the government, and many can have 2,200. Now, of course, it really varies significantly for individuals. But if we look at that as a guide, and we times it by 7, that means that women can have almost 13,000 calories a week, and men can have 15,000. So why can't you have a candy bar for 250 calories? You still have 12,000 something to go for the week. And that's okay. If you plan for the things and you program in the things that you want, you never go off your diet because it is your diet. It's really a life plan. And that's what works. I believe the two-part system of dieting to lose weight and trying to maintain that weight loss is what has failed us. We need one way of living that's relatively healthy for the rest of your life. My favorite tool includes lots of healthy junk food. Healthy junk foods are healthy versions of the foods we love. Cookies, cakes, candy, chocolate, all of that stuff. And there's a new generation of health food out right now that bears no resemblance to the cardboard or styrofoam flavored answers to the past. They're really a good bunch that taste just like the real thing, but they're made with natural ingredients without any trans fats, which are the worst, by the way. Trans fats are disguised as partially hydrogenated oils, margarine, shortening, things like that. And what's so terrible about them is that they raise the bad cholesterol while lowering the good cholesterol at the same time. People thought saturated fats were bad, like butter and fat on your steak, but they just raise the bad cholesterol. Trans fats have that double whammy, and they're not natural. I mean, they're created by taking an oil that is liquid at room temperature like corn oil, and they shoot a hydrogen molecule in it, and it becomes solid. And this became very useful to corporations, not people, because it extended shelf life, and they don't have to rotate their inventory. But for people, it's really quite poisonous. So all of the snacks that I brought today are made with healthy oils, whole grains, no preservatives, no high fructose corn syrup, healthy fats, healthy grains, and are delicious, so you'll find out for yourself. Healthy junk foods are great if you use them for a meal or for part of a meal instead of in addition to meals, because then the calories are accounted for. For instance, if you have a toaster waffle, that's whole grain, a Vance toaster waffle, with a scoop and a half of regular ice cream, all natural, not supreme, you've got a great breakfast for 280 calories. It's got fiber, it's got whole grain, it's got protein, it's got calcium, some sugar to kill the fat, sugar to kill your appetite, and fat to keep it away. So there's a great little meal. How about a Saturday afternoon lunch? Chicken vegetable soup, a couple of handfuls of sesame blue tortilla chips, a bowl of salsa, and a pint of Guinness down. Dark beer has more antioxidants than light beer. Also, under 500 calories. So when you begin to eat like that and incorporate those kinds of things, you're never going to binge on those things because you can have it for the next meal if you want. And it's so satisfying. So that's sort of what my philosophy is about, is going for the healthier versions of the things that we love and incorporating them into your life so you don't cheat on them. Make sense?